Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Sandblum again, here to walk you through some direct instruction around shared identity and what it means for confrontation. So what I saw a lot of when I read through this final section of Trial by Combat is how the shared identity that these two women in the story have impacts the confrontation or lack of confrontation that happens. So just to review from the beginning of the lesson today, shared identity is the extent to which one connects with another person through nature or by specific qualities. And then confrontation is a hostile or argumentative meeting or situation between two opposing parties. Right? So confrontation is similar to an argument. Shared identity is how you share a similar understanding of the world or experience with someone else. So to walk us through and help clarify for our story today, we're going to be looking at two different scenarios. Scenario 1 and Scenario 2. So we're going to read Scenario 1 together. So in Scenario 1, Jose and Miguel are in class together. While they do not know each other well, both boys share Latino heritage and love basketball and are each hoping to make the middle school team. In Scenario 2, Jackie and Diana both go to school at DSST GVR and like school. However, Jackie enjoys playing soccer and is the captain of the girls' soccer team, and Diana plays the piano and hopes to study music in college. So based on these two examples, right, I want you to think about those. If you need to go back and reread them, you can pause this video and do that. Based on the two scenarios above, which one best represents a shared identity based on the definition and why? So please go ahead and answer that in the space provided, and the sentence starter is provided for you. Please go ahead and fill this in. Which scenario of the two above best represents shared identity and why? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to fill that in. About 10 seconds left. All right, so if you are looking at these two scenarios, right, I would say that based on these two scenarios, Scenario 1 is the best example of a shared identity, and the reason for that is because both boys have a similar strong interest in basketball, their heritage, which is where they came from. They both have a strong Latino heritage, and they both are fighting to make the middle school basketball team. So in that case, because of that similarity or overlap in their identities in these areas, they actually share a stronger shared identity than in Scenario 2, where Jackie and Diana only go to school together and they like school generally, but they are not necessarily sharing an identity in any way outside of that. All right, so please make sure you have notes filled in for number 1. If we go down to number 2, this is related to the story Trial by Combat as well. If the students in each scenario, so if we're talking about Scenario 1, it would be Jose and Miguel, and in Scenario 2, it would be Jackie and Diana, right? If the students in each scenario were frustrated with one another, they had a frustration of some kind, which group would be more likely to confront each other? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond. Please go ahead and in the spaces provided, fill in what you think and why. All right, so we are going to move forward with our discussion around number 2. Based on this scenario, right, we know that Scenario 1 is the best example of shared identity. So because of that shared identity, sometimes you often give understanding to individuals who share a similar identity to you. And so in that case, right, you're less likely to confront that individual when there is some kind of disagreement between those two individuals. So in this case, scenario 2, or Jackie and Diana would be more likely to confront each other, and for the reasons that I just mentioned, essentially they have little in common and not much of a shared identity, and because of that, because Jackie and Diana don't share a similar shared identity, they have less understanding of one another, they have less understanding of each other, and as a result, they don't see themselves in that other person, and are more likely to confront one another if there was a disagreement between them. So please use this understanding as you transition to the discussion activity for the trial by combat activity. Thank you.